Bounces underneath. Easy lay for Howard. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul. Cunningham connects on another three. Boston, good look inside. Howard lays it in. Cunningham connects on a three. Cunningham again. Nice find from McDonald, and Howard lays it in. Shot clock at 3. Finds Howard. Her jumper, sure. Cunningham.
Imagine this. Caitlin Clark, sidelined again for the 7th consecutive game, sits on the bench, clearly itching to contribute, yet cheering her teammates on with fierce energy. What's unfolding on the court, though, is nothing short of remarkable. The Indiana Fever have just notched their 5th win in a row, their longest hot streak in over 10 years. Now, they're climbing the standings fast, holding 5th place and only a game and a half behind the number 2 spot. How does a team thrive without its franchise centerpiece? Instead of crumbling, they're catching fire. So, what exactly went down against the Seattle Storm? What did Natasha Howard do that placed her in elite company alongside legends like Tamika Catchings? And how did Sophie Cunningham earn the nickname Firecracker from her teammates? If you're riding this fever wave, drop a comment below. I've got the fever. Let's get into it.
That's a PNW win! W's in the chat.
W's in the chat.
Oh my gosh. That one just aged me, but we're getting better. Shoot, good win. Win for win.
A dub is a dub, so keep on rolling.
Here's what most people miss about what's happening with the Indiana Fever right now. This isn't just another game on the schedule. When they faced off against the Seattle Storm, the Fever were holding down the 6th spot in the standings with a solid 16-12 record. But they weren't far off from grabbing the number 2 seed. That's huge. With playoff positioning hanging in the balance, every single matchup has massive implications. At this point in the season, there's zero room for slip-ups. The battle for home court advantage is officially on.
You're kind of part of the jumble in the standings where you're 16-12, Seattle 16-12, there's a lot of teams kind of game above, game below. Just how important does it make this game and this road trip?
I mean, I think that the situation that we're in right now, every game is important. And, you know, every game that we're playing is there's got to be a sense of urgency. And oftentimes in the second half of the season that happens anyway, but certainly the way that things are with the standings and, you know, opportunities to get wins and get tough wins on the road are important. But, you know, we have to take it one game at a time, and we have to be where our feet are, and we got to attack a great Seattle team.
This grueling West Coast swing might end up deciding the entire fate of the Fever season. With upcoming showdowns against powerhouse teams like Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Minnesota, the road ahead is anything but easy. The stakes couldn't be higher. A rough stretch could knock them right out of playoff contention, but here's what's wild. Even with Caitlin Clark sidelined, the Fever have unearthed a hidden strength. Instead of just hanging on, they're putting together the best stretch of basketball they've played in the last 10 years. 7 games have passed without their superstar, and they've posted a surprising 9-7 record in games without her. That kind of resilience just isn't what you'd expect when a team loses its most important player.
I think first and foremost, we got a great group of women. You know, they're team first. They pull for one another. They're selfless, and they're capable. And, you know, when you have that, it just they've been resilient all year long, and they rally together. They're a connected group, and I think that's really important. And we have capable players. You know, we certainly play a little differently without Caitlin on the floor, but the confidence that each one of these women has gotten in the ability to make plays in big moments.
Key to the Fever's unexpected rise? It's a lesson all great teams eventually figure out. When your star is out, everyone else has to rise to the occasion. Head coach Stephanie White revealed how this group evolved from being heavily reliant on Caitlin Clark to becoming a well-oiled, unified force. Aliyah Boston stepped into a playmaking role, orchestrating the offense with surprising poise. Kelsey Mitchell brought the leadership and poise only a seasoned vet can offer. Natasha Howard embraced a bigger scoring load. Aari McDonald injected speed and creativity off the bench. And players like Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull lit the court up with intensity and hustle, fueling the team's newfound chemistry.
The depth that we have, so that you really never can key on one or two players. We've got multiple players that can step up and have big games for us. I think it makes us more balanced on the offensive end, and the versatility that we have defensively has been big for us. And so, I think this group's been resilient. They've come together. They're playing really well together, and they play for each other. And you really can't discount how important that is when you're playing for the person beside you.
Coach Stephanie White even described Caitlin Clark's absence as a blessing in disguise. Why? Because it pushed the rest of the roster to step up and truly discover their identities. The result? A more balanced defensive system, crisp ball movement, and a defense that's become far more adaptable. Now, opponents can't just focus on stopping one player, because someone new steps up every single night. This 5-game win streak isn't just impressive, it's proof that the Fever have real depth. And when Clark rejoins this now elevated squad, watch out. You're taking a team that's already hot without its biggest star and adding her right back into the mix. That's the recipe for a deep playoff push, maybe even a title run. But the real turning point came thanks to one jaw-dropping performance. A breakout game so electric, it earned one player a nickname that perfectly sums up her explosive energy.
Storm team's second best defensive rating in the league, but you've been able to find some shots and spots so far today. How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, they're heavy in the paint. We have great post players and they have to cover them. Seattle's a great defensive team. They're long, they're athletic, with the weak sides wide open. So as long as we keep the ball popping, I think we're going to find nice shots.
Sophie Cunningham just torched Seattle like it was fireworks night. But here's the part that most fans completely missed. Her performance wasn't some random hot streak. All month long, Cunningham has been unconscious from deep, quietly becoming the WNBA's most lethal three-point shooter in July. But what makes her breakout even more remarkable? She's been carrying a weight that would have broken most players. While lighting up scoreboards, she's been battling through intense pressure, on and off the court. And still, she delivered when it mattered most.
Abby Williams storms inside, can't finish it, follows it up. Into the arms of Bibby, just signed for the rest of the season by Indiana. Been a perfect fit at the stretch 4. Cunningham connects on a 3.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another 3.
Get this, outside of Sophie Cunningham, the entire Indiana Fever squad went 0-for-7 from three-point range in their battle against Seattle. Not a single other player could connect from deep. All eyes were on Cunningham, and the pressure was immense. Imagine being the only shooter hitting from long range while your teammates can't buy a bucket. That's the kind of mental toughness champions are built from, and she didn't just survive that pressure, she thrived in it. Cunningham buried 4 triples and racked up a season-high 17 points in just 33 minutes. She was nearly flawless, going 5-for-6 from the floor and 4-for-5 from deep. On a night when everyone else struggled to find rhythm, she became the spark that kept Indiana's offense alive.
You brought it up before, though, and to Noe there. Double overtime game and then a day game today. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham, 3 for 3 from deep. Mitchell and Boston would combine for that. You'd never think this would be the score. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham has tied her season high, 16 points.
Coming with confidence, and she has certainly been that from the jump of this game.
Her teammates didn't need time to process it. They knew they had just witnessed something special. After the game, Natasha Howard took to social media and dubbed Sophie Cunningham a firecracker. And honestly, it's the perfect nickname. She's explosive when the moment demands it, and her energy lights a fire under the entire squad. When the Fever need a spark, Cunningham delivers, loud, fast, and clutch.
Shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games, but it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on runs.
The stats behind Sophie Cunningham's red-hot July explain exactly why she's now a frontrunner for 6th Player of the Year. She's hit double figures in 8 of her last 10 outings, proving she's not just a spark off the bench, she's a key piece of Indiana's winning formula. With Caitlin Clark out, Cunningham stepped into the starting lineup and made one thing crystal clear: she's earned that spot. Her timely shooting held the offense together when it looked like it might fall apart. Aliyah Boston credited Cunningham's perimeter threat for giving her more room to operate inside. And even Kelsey Mitchell, despite having a rough night, gave her props, saying Cunningham was the one who kept the offense flowing down the stretch.
been a lot of ups and downs in the WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's come together?
Yeah, Seattle's a great team, great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not going to be there. But I don't know, I'm just proud of our team, and I'm proud that we stacked today.
Performances like this are what define championship caliber teams, finding a new hero every night. Sophie Cunningham showed that even so-called role players can rise to the moment and deliver like stars when everything's on the line. And now, it's clear her teammates see it too. She's no longer just a spark plug, she's becoming essential to the Fever's success. Irreplaceable,